Hello and welcome to saulyonline. Today we're at Roberta Bonder Pavilion with Mike Taffarel. He's the candidate for the Marxist Leninist Party of Canada in the upcoming federal election. Hi Mike.
Hi.
Now tell us a little bit about Mike Taffarel. Who is Mike Taffarel?
Well, I'm probably the longest long-standing federal candidate in Sault Ste. Marie, going back decades and decades and decades.
How long have you been running?
Since the 80s, I believe. But Justin Trudeau might not be ready, but I've been good and ready for a long, long time. Just the voters out there haven't been quite ready to vote for me yet, but October 19th, you get another chance.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you worked?
I've been a steel worker all my life. Recently retired, 5 years now. One lifetime making steel is plenty.
Okay.
And I've lived here, raised my family, wife, 4 kids, 4 grandchildren now, and
you were a unionist for quite a while.
I was an hourly member of 2251, yeah.
How large is the party, and is it spread throughout all of Canada?
It is spread throughout all of Canada, the Maritimes, Quebec, Ontario, the Prairies, BC. In this election, we're having 70 candidates, which is about the same as the last election.
Okay, and the majority are in Ontario?
Well, there's a good number in Ontario and in Quebec and BC and scattered in between.
What does your party stand for?
Well, our party considers that Canada needs an anti-war government, that all our troops should be brought home from overseas. They should not be involved in wars of aggression with the U.S. around the world. Just look at the refugee catastrophe being created in Syria right now. That without the war that was started there, that wouldn't be happening right now. So Canada should be a factor for peace in the world and should promote peaceful coexistence with other countries and other people. If you don't agree or you're not happy, that's the citizens of the other countries to deal with their own situations. We should not be going around the world trying to inflict regime change on nations around the world.
Okay, as far as Saullites are concerned, what would make them vote for you as far as finances and the infrastructure of the Sioux?
Well, their conscience should tell them to vote for me, because the other candidates, the major candidates, the ones that get all the media publicity, they're the ones that get funded by taxpayers' dollars, and half of their expenses get covered by all our taxpayers' dollars. Our party believes the government should not fund any of the parties. The parties should fund themselves, and they should just fund the electoral process, and all candidates should be on an equal footing, and everyone should have their voice heard, and citizens should be able to make an informed decision and vote at the ballot.
What are your expectations for this election, for yourself and the party itself?
Well, everybody that I talk to is hoping that Harper gets defeated, that in Sault Ste. Marie, Bryan Hayes gets defeated, that this country can't take any more years or months or days of this Harper government, that it's destroying the economy, it's destroying the fabric of society, that Canada needs a new direction for the economy, a new direction for social programs in this country.
As far as the whole party is concerned, from your party winning in Canada?
Well, eventually I'm sure we will, but will it happen at this election? We'll have to wait and see. But if you're counting on the monopoly media to inform citizens so they can make an educated vote at election time, that doesn't seem to be happening locally. The place to get all the information is mlpc.ca. That's the national website of the Marxist Leninist Party of Canada, and that cuts through all the disinformation and silence that the rest of the media would have you believe, that there are major and minor candidates, that if you're an independent, you don't even get the right to attend an all-candidates meeting. You don't get a right to have your voice heard because, for example, tomorrow night at the meeting at City Hall, only candidates that have elected representatives in the last parliament were invited. So if you're an independent, you're not going to have a member previously in Parliament, so your voice gets silenced. If you're a small party like the Marxist Leninist Party, just running 70 candidates and you haven't got one elected yet, then your voice is silenced. Before the Green Party had one candidate elected, well, if they followed this rule, their party would have been silenced. So they want to turn it into a cartel party system. They want it to be a closed shop with only certain points of view presented, and anyone else is supposed to be shut out. Well, we're working as hard as we can and trying to knock on as many doors and talk to as many people as possible, and our online mlpc.ca is cutting through all this negativity. As well, the online has a Renewal update, which is a daily email bulletin that people can sign up for, and they receive it 5 days a week on their email. And they stay up to the minute news on political affairs across the country and the world, and anyone that really wants to be informed should sign up for the Renewal update at mlpc.ca.
Okay, now, the minute people hear Marxist, Leninist, they automatically associate you with the Communist Party. Now, are you part of the Communist Party or an extreme socialist party? Can you differentiate between that?
The Elections Canada is the reason that we are registered as the Marxist-Leninist Party of Canada. We are actually the Communist Party of Canada, Marxist-Leninist, but because there was already another party registered as the Communist Party, we had to register as the Marxist-Leninist Party of Canada. But our program and policies and politics are all developed here at home in Canada, and it's a modern form of the ideology of Marxism Leninism, of working class politics, and it's an ongoing project that we're building day by day in actual facts and deeds.
Okay. Would you like to say anything to the electorate?
By all means, on October the 19th, stop Harper. Defeat this Conservative government. Defeat Bryan Hayes. That Bryan Hayes would have you believe he's a friend of steelworkers. Can he tell that to the steelworkers at Stelco and Hamilton that are laid off, that the Stelco's been shut down after the Conservative government allowed U.S. Steel to buy it out for the purpose of shutting it down? It was a behind closed door deal that we still can't get access to. And now they're in bankruptcy protection again. And because maybe even SR Steel here wants to be a contender in purchasing it, now U.S. Steel wants to buy it back because they don't want, for example, SR Steel starting it up again and competing with U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel's been supplying the Canadian market from outside the country. And Canada only produces half the steel required. The Canadian economy has to import steel just to survive. Why doesn't this government of Canada have a program to beef up and build up the steel production in this country so that we don't have to depend on imports, whether it's from the US or India or somewhere else? We're capable of producing steel, all that we need here in Canada. We have the resources, we have the workforce. Where's the policy? Where's the program? Where's the forward thinking? Where's the nation building project? This government is hell-bent on nation wrecking, on wrecking the steel industry, wrecking the economy, selling this policy of ripping the resources out and shipping them out as fast as you can, not producing anything here, and leaving us high and dry for the future. We have to stop this. The economy has to be turned around. The politics in this country needs to be turned around. Sault Ste. Marie deserves a candidate and a member of parliament that stands for a vigorous steel industry in this country, and that you can't have it both ways, Brian. You can't sell us out to U.S. Steel and say you're a friend of Canadian steelworkers. Steelworkers are going to vote on October the 19th, and they won't be voting for you, Brian.